everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Quick look here again at Bitcoin. Appreciate all of your patience. Back in the office here now for my trip to Dubai for Token 2049. It was really a lot of fun, absolutely. But I want to get back on track here. So thank you again for your patience. We're going to look at some back-end data here for Bitcoin. We'll actually just start with this right now, as a matter of fact, because a lot of liquidity down to the downside here has been swept. So in other words, we have a lot less volume at lower price points. People with long positions are getting pretty much destroyed here at this point. There's not a lot left. Okay, and what that basically means is the price action could start to stabilize soon. I'm not saying it's not going to continue to drop, but it is definitely possible once we hit that $60,000 mark to be completely said and done with that. Again, this is the last 7 days of trading, so keep in mind, larger time frames do tell different stories. So let's quickly look at the last month's worth of liquidation and confirm there's still a decent amount of liquidation between 55 and 60,000. Okay, so it doesn't mean we're going to be completely over. If we hit 60,000, price isn't just going to recover from that, but there's a lot going on right now. Okay, so this week there's some fundamental catalysts. Keep in mind, I'll post that to our to my Twitter, Telegram, and Discord if you're not familiar. I also have a new TikTok as well. Please check that out. Link down below for that. But the truth here is that when it comes to fundamentals, those are that has a lot to do with what we're seeing here right now. Okay, we got a nice little recovery here recently, getting almost 65,000, and in the last 12 hours, the price is completely bottomed out. Okay, so not a great situation for Bitcoin for the moment. How much lower is it going to go? Let's go ahead and see if there's any indication as to how much lower. We're going to look at some support and resistance levels. Let's quickly look at the weekly time frame too, because it is important to recognize that there's some larger stuff here that we need to be mindful of. We're still fairly bullish on the weekly time frame. I know it sounds crazy, but we're above all moving averages. That's generally a good thing, but we have officially diverged on the MACD. Okay. Now, last time we saw a divergence on the MACD here, you want to kind of clarify this, we saw it roughly back in July. Okay, so last time we saw that correction, it was here, and the price action ended up pulling back a pretty substantial amount. May not look like a lot, but that's somewhere in the range of about 20%. So I'm not saying we're going to see another 20% correction per se, but that is possible. Okay, it could even be larger too. Don't get wrong. We're still absolutely in this larger time frame here, but no matter how you look at it, we're still within this range. Okay, in other words, we still got this bullish type of flag right now, and I wouldn't say that we're out of the woods yet. Okay, in other words, it's not dire straits. Let's not overreact and just start shorting like crazy. But again, you want to be careful. Obviously, taking a trade right now, the market is heavily manipulated, and it can be difficult from a swing trader's perspective to find some wins right now. There's no doubt about it. But obviously, a lot of wins come in different directions. But if you're comfortable with shorting, it's a short game right now. Hindsight, I wish I had opened a few shorts, but I wanted to make sure we didn't have any false positives. And honestly, if you look at these shenanigans here, this should not be happening. Price shouldn't be coming up like this and ripping down. It kind of reminds me of one of those power of three situations here where we got the price section in a range, comes down, rips up like this, and now it's just right back down. It's a mess, folks. Again, no other way around it. It's just you just kind of got to deal with it. And at this point here, let's see if there's any other indication where we're at. So I'm sorry, I'm jumping around here. Let's get back to the monthly and kind of clarify a couple things. We need to make sure we do not close in a bearish engulfing candle here. If we close below, just say 60,700, 60,500 is a round number, then we could very well see a bearish engulfing candle there, and that could imply the price continuing lower. What this basically just tells us is this month we've opened and closed almost lower than the price action for last month, and generally when that happens, the price will continue in the opposite direction. Okay, and one of my community members highlighted this too. There's been a few months where we've seen this in the past, and it's generally not a great thing. Okay, so again, I don't have time to pull that up here for you right now, but I can tell you we want to close up at 61,000 or higher today. That'd be very, very helpful. Okay, looking at the daily time frame again, we got rejected by the 20-day SMA pretty hard here earlier today. 50 still trailing behind, so this is not a bullish situation whatsoever. We're still under 50 on the RSI, have been for some time, generally construed as bearish behavior. We do see money flow indexes increasing. That does tend to happen when you get closer to support levels. Right now, tentatively, 61,300, a key fib level of 0.786 is our last line of defense. Okay, that's a more recent low here as well, back in April on the 18th. So it is essentially an area in which we could consider to be a potential for double bottom. Okay, now again, just throwing out some ideas here, but hypothetically, we got this going on for us right now. Okay, so there's possible scenarios that could play out, but no other way you look at it here, it's not really favorable here. It's definitely more of a bearish sign. Okay, but again, support at the 100-day SMA right around 59.7/60,000. Previous candlestick closure at 60,000. That was a point of contention more recently. We wicked down to 60,000 twice. We could very well see a third area there. I might be more likely to want to consider a long position at 60,000, just because that is somewhat of an emotional support level, or kind of one of those levels that a lot of people will typically end up buying into. Okay, there's a decent amount of volume there too. So let's go ahead and double check a couple of other things here. Let's look at the more recent time frame here. So roughly in the last, ever since we've been 60,000 plus, we can see the heaviest concentration of volume at 67,000. So that is our resistance level, if you will. And for right now, we can see we don't have a lot of volume below the price action, kind of implying the price could continue lower in that regard. Take a look here at the 4-hour time frame. We can double check a couple of things. We can see the RSI is getting close to 30. Stochastic swinging down. Money flow index is still low. These are generally unfavorable. We can see MACD is still diverging. Okay, so generally speaking here at this point, there's nothing here on the 4-hour time frame that's looking decent. Nothing that we really want to look at, considering taking a long position with. We do take a look at the hourly, however, we can see here too that we're in a situation where the hourly time frame, we're getting a ton of volume at this lower price point, and we're getting close to that overextended state. So we could see a recovery here in the immediate future just because we're getting close to 30 on the RSI. But we do take a look at Ichimoku Cloud. Look at this, we're getting some really funky behavior here. Price action comes up here to close above the cloud, right, for 2 or 3 hours, and then wicks all the way back down as if it never happened. So the problem with this here, folks, is that with this kind of manipulation, you can get confirming factors all day long, and the price just turns itself around. So I'm not saying this is completely a flip of a coin, but I can tell you right now, you just want to kind of be careful, pump the brakes. I've notified my community a couple of days ago, just kind of saying, hey, there's less signals in the market that I'm sending because the market is just very it's uneven. It's very shaky market. So when these things happen, it's okay to kind of stay on the sidelines and pump the brakes, wait a little bit longer. I know it's hard to be not in a trade sometimes for some people, but I can tell you, folks, it's better to be outside of a trade and to not take a loss than it is to be in one and to take a loss. Okay. So please, 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 patience is key right now. Let's make sure we wait just a little bit longer. At this point here, I'm looking for somewhere in the range of 60,000 for a consideration for a long. I'm not just going to arbitrarily jump into a long, by the way, because we hit 60K, but I can tell you that I think we're going to have a lot of support in that range, just based on that being a previous support level. That is if we close below here. So again, today we need a closure at 61.3 or higher, right? This fib level here, got to see if that can hold for today. We're tentatively below it, and we're starting to see a lot of volume here. So this is good, honestly, with the price action coming down and the volume increasing, leading me to believe we're starting to see some support levels emerge here soon. Okay. Hopefully that made sense. I described that. I know this is a long-winded, unique analysis here, but again, it's always dynamic, folks. Continue to roll with it. At this point here, ideally, in a perfect world, we're going to get that double bottom here at 60,000, and the price continues to recover, honoring our bull flag pattern here so far that's still in play. Okay. So we haven't broken bearish yet, folks. We're going to see a lot of chop in the next couple of weeks, and this week too, a lot of fundamentals. I think there's a Fed rate meeting tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, and some really important things coming up. So it's okay to be passively trading right now and just kind of waiting for the right opportunity. Do not overtrade right now, folks. All right, thanks again so much for watching. Hope you learned something. I do appreciate it. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe below. Feel free to check out my TikTok. I just started. I'm going to start sending out more daily analysis or just market updates, kind of things to help keep you abreast on things, because I get a lot of requests for things outside of TA, and it's perfectly fine because I love technical analysis, but I also love to get you what you need, and that is pertinent information. So check out my Twitter, Telegram, and Discord for that. Hope you have a good one. Thanks again for your time. We'll see you the next one. Take care.